All right, today's video I'm really excited about just because I've been anticipating this film for quite a while now. When I saw the trailer, I was like, yes, this is right up my alley. Cosmic, Lovecraftian, body horror. I was just so thrilled to actually finally watch it. Blair and I just watched it at Panic Fest. We purchased the virtual online pass. We had it available for up to 7 days, but once you start it, you have 48 hours to watch it. And let me tell you, this movie, I needed a second viewing, which I didn't even get to, just because we had our friend Sarah over. Love you, Sarah. So yeah, we had our friend Sarah over and we were intending on watching The Outwaters. What ended up happening was we were just talking for a while, you know, friends, chit chat, converse, and it's all good. So this movie, let's just get right into it because I have a lot to say about this movie. It's going to be spoiler free. There's a lot of positive, but there are some drawbacks or things that I'm going to kind of nitpick a bit. I'm not going to be too nitpicky, but there are things that just kind of get not on my nerves, but it's one of those films that you really need to process what you just witnessed, just because, yeah, it's a different type of movie. And I do want to give props out to Robbie Banfitch, the director, writer, producer, editor, actor. He was featured in the film. He's a jack of all trades kind of guy. So, hey, that's really impressive, I think. I think it's really cool that he's been wanting to make a horror film and now he's gotten that opportunity. And I really hope that he creates more horror films because this movie was actually good, in my opinion. The visuals of it, it's just so beautiful. The fact that it's taking place in the desert, it's just breathtaking. Again, the cinematography, it captivates me already. Movies that take place in the desert are just so interesting to me. And when you combine those type of elements, Lovecraftian, cosmic type phenomena, if you will, then yeah, I love that. The film follows four travelers as they make their way to the Mojave Desert to film a music video. Soon, strange phenomena begins to occur. Again, like I stated, the visuals are so appealing in this film. For what it is, the low budget, independently made film. I love indie films and I'm so glad that this was featured, that we were able to find it. I don't even know how I found out about this movie, but the trailer drew me in. And then I saw some ad on Facebook for Panic Fest 2022 and I was like, Blair, we need to get tickets ASAP. And so we did, and we were both perplexed when we watched this movie. There was a lot going on. So why don't we just break it down? And so I can give a little bit by bit of each stage from the beginning, middle, and end, not going through every little detail, no spoilers, of course, but just my basic perspective of the film in general. What I found really interesting about The Outwaters is the beginning of it. The Outwaters has a similar fashion to X, which is another movie that I was highly anticipating this year, and I was not let down, where you kind of get a dispatch call, a dispatcher getting this call from what seems like these people in desperation and need of help. You hear these distorted sounds and it's really creepy and unnerving. And then it goes to introducing you to the characters of the film. So I guess the way the film is starting, it's kind of showing you or kind of letting you see what's kind of transpiring. And then it's bringing you back to whatever few days, a week prior to the beginning before all the madness happened. But it also kind of reminds me of movies like The Endless or The Void, another movie that I covered on this channel. It has that very cosmic and just weird feel to it. Strange phenomena that you can't even explain or wrap your head around. I personally love that Robbie Banfitch went with this route and took this risk and went in a different route for this type of horror. So one of the things that I noticed with the film in the beginning is that you get a lot of exposition, you get a lot of character development, and really getting to know these characters and their intentions, their lives, what they're intending on doing. It runs for about 50 minutes. The whole time, despite the very beginning where you get that snippet with the dispatcher conversing with this person who's in distress, it's kind of like we're being overcompensated, giving us more information about the characters, and it's just kind of dragging a little bit. I want more horror than just getting to know them and their lives and what they're about and what they want to do, which is to make a music video. And it's focusing on this singer, this artist, and they're going to take her to the Mojave Desert, film a music video. And then it gets a little bit complicated and twisty later on. But despite having such a lengthy like character development exposition going on, it just felt like some of the characters were a bit shallow in my opinion. Like I still feel like I didn't really relate to them or get enough from them. I just felt like if we're getting that much exposition and trying to really relate to these characters, I felt like I should really actually connect with them, but I didn't. So once all these horror elements start to kick in and craziness ensues, I didn't really feel for them. I just felt like, okay, this is happening. And it kind of sucks when a horror movie makes me feel that way. Sometimes I really do want to like feel for the character. What they were doing made sense. They were not intending to look for danger. They weren't trying to look for trouble. They were just trying to have fun, enjoy this kind of little get together vacation, make a music video. And it wasn't supposed to be like that. You see some horror films where people just go into obvious dangerous situations and make the dumbest decisions. They weren't intending on doing that. They weren't looking for trouble. It just trouble found them. And then I would have to say the next part, the middle of it, after everything's gone crazy, I think this is the part where I get frustrated the most with the movie, just because a lot of it takes place at night and you barely see anything. While I do find it interesting that the director kind of played with our auditory senses in that sense and kind of used like atmospheric, weird, strange sounds, relied on that. And I really did appreciate that. I just wish I could have seen a little bit more. Sometimes it's like not what you see, it's what you hear. And I can testify to that. There are certain films that I've seen. And I'm going to bring this up, like, again, just because a movie is gory doesn't make it scary. But for me, it's not even like the actual gore. It's like the sounds. Like when I hear certain sounds, again, with this movie, when you're like in that middle part of the film where it's like pitch black and everything, you do feel like a little unease, but I just wish you could have seen more. And then some of the things happening, it's just kind of like, what is going on? Because it goes in like, it gives you like little cues, little, I don't know, foreshadowing, or just kind of presents certain things that you're like, okay. And then it just leaves me with more questions than answers. I like films that challenge me mentally and like make me really think about what's going on. And sometimes there's not a clear answer, but I still like to try to unravel the mystery. But then we get to the ending. And I will say, I think the ending is probably my favorite part of this film. Hands down. I don't think Blair really enjoyed the ending as much, but I will say I like the ending. I'm not even going to describe the creature or what's in it. I'm not going to get to that, but I am going to talk about the last moments of the movie. I don't want to spoil too much, but there's some type of creature or some type of slithering things, tentacles. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a life form, alien, some type of radioactive testing. I mean, there's little key hints throughout the movie. I'm not going to say it. The ending is when the gore really ramps up. And there's just a scene in that movie at the end that I'm like, oh, Blair and I were just completely baffled. We were like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. It was... I really want to say what it is, but I know so many people haven't seen this movie yet, and it would be like a disservice to just throw that spoiler out there. So I'm not going to say what it is, but you guys should really watch the movie. Let's just say it gets really gory and it gets brutal at the end. And it gets shocking because, again, it leaves me with more questions than answers. I feel like I keep saying that, but it's just true. I didn't know how to feel about the Outwaters when I first watched it. I needed to simmer on it. Just needed to just let it marinate and just sit on it and think about it. But personally, I actually like this movie. I really like it a lot. It's not what I expected, but at the same time, I enjoyed it for what it is. I like the setting of it. I like that it takes place in the desert. I like the acting. I thought it was pretty convincing in my opinion. And yeah, we get a lot of character development, a lot of exposition going on in the beginning. As someone who loves horror, I'm kind of like, I don't want things to go through so quickly But I was like, come on, please add some horror elements soon. I'm like, we're already at the 50-minute mark. What's going on? So would I recommend this movie? Yes, I would definitely recommend anybody who's into horror, definitely give The Outwaters 2022 a shot. I think it's a really well done movie. It's really captivating. It's really puzzling, but it's just like the ending scene. Ooh, man, and that's where I have to give this director his credit, his due. The practical effects sold it for me. After all this waiting and stuff, by the end of it, it was well worth it. The gore, the use of practical effects, I'm going to have to give this movie I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I liked it, actually. I don't know if it's still playing at any other film festivals. I know it was playing there. And I actually just voted for The Outwaters. So, because The Outwaters is the only movie that I watched, I saw The Sadness on there, which is another one that I really want to watch as well. It's going to Shudder on May 12th, I think. I'm going to head out now. Just wanted to ramble a little bit about The Outwaters. Like I said, I like this movie. I think you guys should check it out if you have the opportunity to. It's a well done movie. But yeah, next video is going to be everything I watched last month in April, and that's going to contain a lot of found footage. So any of you found footage lovers out there, I've got your fix. And I've also got Lacey with me. What, you want to look at the mic? She's like, what the hell is going on? All right.